Welcome to this special live webinar from Sedona Mago Retreat. We are so glad that you are here. Today's topic, I hope this you can relate to this topic deeply. Recenter your mind and reset in nature. How to find direction in chaotic uncertainties. This may sound like finding the center inside and finding direction in chaotic uncertainties. This might sound abstract or maybe philosophical if our world if our world were different than it is now. But now chaotic uncertainties, finding direction and getting confused or disoriented, it's not an abstract concept. That's what we're experiencing in our everyday life. For example, yes, that what everybody already knows and talks about every day, like AI. It's only like 2 years, but actually the changes that have been made so far is really it's alarming. It's really surprising, and the gap between human intelligence and artificial intelligence is being filled very rapidly, and also maybe the idea, the concept, the idea that we have about countries or international relationship or government has been changing also dramatically. So for example, countries, their relationship becoming like businesses, and government or nation become like corporations. And also whether you are artist or musician or leader of a corporation, if you have if you have a influence, if you have a power to influence others to choose in a certain way, to behave in a certain way, then definitely it means you are, whether you like it or whether you intend it or not, you are political. So that's how the gap, we see it's a lot of examples like that is happening already, and we see those changes as well. So the gap between the corporations or government also, I think the line is being blurred. And these changes, whether that happens in our personal level or international level, that's changing the picture of the world that we have been holding so far. It's changing the picture very quickly, and that makes us uncertain about our position, and also uncertain about what our life will be like in the near future. So when things are happening like this, where can we find the direction, or where can we find some insight, or where can we find our place in this rapid the flow of the change without getting lost? So that's something that I wanted to talk about, I wanted to share. And when I talk about this, I remember the activities, the examples, the activities that I led very often when I was in the East Coast. Very often I led the corporate retreat with the groups. Either can be teachers or students or the corporations, or even the military cadets. And then I ran the leadership retreat with them. And one of the activities that I used a lot for them was the name of the activity is whale watch, but actually it's not really watching the whales. That's kind of symbolic name, but basically it's like this. So let me use this. It's like a board like this. So on a wooden board which can accommodate like 20 to 30 people. It's spacious enough. And underneath there's a log like this. So it's based on this board is placed on a log. So, and you can get the idea. So the purpose is, it's like seesaw. The structure is so bigger, but actually basically the concept is like seesaw. And what we do is people come on the board, not one by one, all together. The activity will start when everybody's on the board, and you may guess what the purpose is. Yes, you're right. The purpose is not moving up and down like seesaw. The purpose is finding balance, not individually, but all together. Before we start the activities, I usually ask the question, before they come on the board to the group, I ask the question like, what's your strategy? What's your idea? How you can do this? And they say like, we'll divide the group and split we will split the group and distribute the weight evenly like that. That's a great strategy, right? Sounds smart. When they answer like that, then I usually ask, did you eat breakfast or did you drink? Do you know why I asked that question? Because the weight that you have, your body weight, it's just an simplified data. That's not your actual body weight, because your actual body weight is always changing. So what looks smart on a paper may not be a good idea for in a real situation. You don't know exactly how much you weigh. So that won't work like that. And also, because you're constantly moving, it's hard to predict which movement, even slight movement will have an impact. So it's hard to tell what kind of movement will how much impact on the balance. So after I explained that, I asked another question. Have you ever watched a big group of fish or birds behave like one organism? And you saw that, right? The big group, like thousands of them, behave like one organism. How they can do that? Usually, that kind of group action, like for the big group of fish or birds, there's no leader, and they don't talk to each other, and they don't have any plan. They don't use GPS. Then how they can do that? The answer is simple, because they sense each other, they feel each other. So, and they got the idea. So then I give advice. I don't give any specific instruction, but after they understood what's the challenges, what the limitation, how they can do, how they need to do differently, as an advice, I say, in order to do well on this board, to find your balance, one simple advice is try to think less and feel more, because no matter how smart you are, no matter what a great plan you have, if you don't feel it, there's no balance, because balance is not in your thought, balance is in your feeling. And they got it. It's very clear. Maybe I can repeat one more time. No matter how smart you are, no matter what a great plan you have, if you don't feel the balance, if you don't feel it, there's no balance, because balance is not in your thought, but in your feeling. And they do that. And mostly, so the goal is maintaining the balance altogether more than 10 seconds. But they struggle in the beginning, but eventually they manage to find the balance and maintain it more than some group, more than actually several minutes. That's amazing. It's almost when you see that, when you see how they can manage the balance and maintain it, it's not static. They are moving slightly but maintain the balance. It's really amazing, almost like inspiring. And after they finish, then I usually ask, do you know how challenging this is? I'm not sure you know about, if you have any background in physics, so you may heard about three-body problems. I'm not talking about the Netflix drama. I know that there's a drama titled like Three-Body Problem, but what I'm talking about, three-body problem, is when there's three bodies, when they are constantly moving, affect each other like gravity. When there are three bodies or more, when they are when they are connected, affecting each other and constantly moving, you cannot predict their behavior. No matter how much computation power you use, you cannot figure out you cannot predict their movement and their location, even with the supercomputers. Even these days, we didn't figure it out. So it's that difficult. It always shows a chaotic pattern. You cannot predict. And so two bodies, that's easy. Two bodies, that's simple. You can exactly predict their movement and location. But three bodies or more, you cannot do that. But look at the situation. There are, like, let's say 20 people. There are 20 bodies, and they're all connected and affecting each other, constantly moving, and figure out perfect balance with that. Even supercomputers cannot, but somehow human brains can do that. And that's really, there's no other animals, no matter how well trained, there's no animal that can do that. One animal, they may find the balance alone, but with multiple of them, no matter how well trained, I don't think they can do that. So there's something amazing in human brain. So when they achieve that, I usually call this collective awareness and spontaneous harmony. When each person focuses on stay in their center, aware of their feeling, and then when not only one person, but their awareness is connected, that's collective awareness. They feel each other, and then they work together, and then spontaneous harmony. Nobody is directing, nobody is controlling, but just it happens. So that kind of capability is in human brain. So I would like to call this is non-analytic intelligence, non-thinking intelligence. Nobody was thinking. And one thing very common to them, when they were in a perfect balance, after they finished that, I don't say anything because it may disturb the balance. After they finish that, I ask the question, what were you doing when you were in perfect balance? Then everybody says that we were not doing anything. We were just feeling it. We just feel the balance. We just on the balance. We were not doing anything, even not thinking. That's true. That kind of spontaneous, collective awareness, spontaneous harmony can happen when they are not thinking. So what I'm trying to say is, we may think our intelligence is all about data, information, or thinking, analysis, but actually our intelligence, human intelligence, is much deeper than that. When we are connected to that, we can figure out what even supercomputers cannot figure out yet. That kind of balance. So that's no matter the current AI, because it's all about language, it's all about data. It's not there yet. I don't think it will be there because it's a non-linguistic. It's beyond data. So what I'm trying to say is, when we say human intelligence, current technology may fill the gap between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. And actually, honestly, in many areas, the artificial intelligence already has surpassed human intelligence. They do better than than us in a lot of areas already. But what I'm trying to say is, humanity is not just intelligence. It's much more than intelligence, like what I just mentioned. How can we say that? It's not. It may be. We may expand the concept of intelligence, but it's not the intelligence the way we mean so far. So that's one thing. Another example that I want to talk about is, it's a famous experiment. It's a part of the research about human capability, native capability to tell what is wrong, which is wrong, to tell which is wrong or right. And it was with babies, 1 to 12 months old babies, which means babies before they learn languages. So the way we think, when we make a moral decision, when we make ethical decision, making an ethical decision needs very sophisticated level of thinking, a lot of analysis. When you usually make decision, ethical decision, like which the wrong or right or good or bad, those kind of things, it needs a lot of the analysis, a lot of thinking, which means you can do that after you learn language, because thinking, in order to think, even if we don't say it, we have to use language. But these babies, the experiments are like this. So they use it's like puppet show. They use the circle and square and triangle. And each one has the black spot with the white background around it. So it looks like eyes. And the reason why I think that's a good idea to put the something that looked like eyes on that object, because that's how, when you something that look like eyes, that's how you feel connected with that. That's how you can empathize with that. Otherwise, it's just square. It's just an object. So that's why it can be a simplified puppet show. So circle, square, and triangle. There's YouTube about this. You can I don't have it now, but I think you can find it and you can watch it. It's really amazing. So this red circle is trying to climb a hill, and then the blue square comes out from the top, and then it pushes down. So it pushes down and prevent it and then block it from climbing the hill. So so it's not helping. It's actually frustrating. It's the circle's effort to climb. And then there's a yellow triangle. It comes from the behind, and then the circle is trying to climb, and then yellow circle, yellow triangle is helping the circle to climb the hill. And after the show, and the researchers present the triangle and square, and then show it to the babies and let them choose. But 100%, all the babies, they chose the yellow triangle, which helped the circle from behind, not the blue square, which was blocking the circle from above. So how they can do this? And then one of the participant was 2 months old, so barely can manage her hand, but still she selected yellow triangle. So all the researchers was amazed how consistently the babies can choose good one instead of bad one. And I think it comes from the power, the empathy, because even before we become able to think, at least we can feel. When you connect with that, you can feel what the others would feel. It can be people or things or animal. So I think that's the only way to explain that. And you may say that it was maybe there was a kind of preference, a color preference or shape preference for babies, but actually they tried it with the different colors and different shape, but the result was the same. They always selected the object that helped others, not the one that blocked the others. So that choice was consistent. So that's how I believe the only way to explain, the only way that we can explain about this is they know what they through their even though they were not using language, they could feel how others feel. So through the power of empathy, they could choose the right choice. So I think this, when you think about these two, the intelligence is much deeper than the languages. How can I say that? The awareness, let's say awareness, and also the empathy. These two things, which is much beyond our linguistic intelligence. As long as we are connected with that, as long as we use that power, I think we can find the direction. We can be centered, and we can find direction in these chaotic uncertainties. Also, we can find our position in the future as well. So, in order to fully really integrate this into our mind, let's try that all together. So it's a really simple experiment that we can do together. So please sit straight, and then make sure you are balanced, you're straight, and would you slant your body to your, is this your left or right? So you please slant your body to your left. It's my right, but your left. And feel it. Are you slanted? Yes, you are, right? Okay. While you're maintaining this slanted position, try to answer my question. How do you know that you're slanted? You can type in your response. Okay, return. How do you know that you are slanted? Because you feel that. And what the way how you can feel that is, let me use this to explain that. This is wine bottle. I had to drink it up all to get relaxed before this webinar. I'm just joking. And this wine bottle, imagine if you have the balance organ in your inner ear. You may learn about that when you were in elementary school or middle school in the biology class. So in this in this organ, there's a liquid in it. Because the very nature of liquid is always leveled, perpendicular to the center of gravity. So if you tilt it, then because it's a level, there's more liquid here, more mass, more weight. And if you tilt it the other way, and then more weight is on this side. So because of the very nature of the liquid, perpendicular, leveled, perpendicular to the center of gravity, and so even though you change the position of the water bottle, it is always leveled. That's how you sense the difference of the weight. That's how the sense of organ works. But explaining the anatomical structure of your balance organ is not my point. It's not my intention. What I'm trying to say is, you know that you are slanted because there's something inside you which is not slanted. You know that you are out of balance, you are off balance. You know that you are slanted because something inside you is perfectly balanced all the time, regardless of your body position. We can expand this a little further. When you are not truthful, you know that you are not truthful. How do you know that you are not truthful? And I know that, I think you already have an answer, because you know that you are not truthful when you are not truthful, because there's absolute truthfulness inside you all the time. I hope you get some insight or get shocked by this realization. this absolute truthfulness is not the result of your effort. It's part of the nature that we already have from the beginning. And you have empathy. I think this absolute truthfulness is really a true source of our conscience, our willingness to be truthful in all situations. Sometimes we may not follow the direction of this, but we still can feel that. These two things. Our awareness, when you say awareness, it can encompass all of these things, but I would like to focus on those two things. Absolute truthfulness, absolute balance inside us, and then empathy. By using this, by listening to the guidance of these two, you can say guide or compass inside us. By listening to their guidance, I think it'll help us to find direction, to find a position in this chaotic uncertainties. To make it a book, or there's a I cannot see it. Can you? Okay. Not a book. There's a YouTube video about this. Maybe. Put the description after. Yeah, we can add the information here. Let me see check the time.
9:26.
Okay. So I hope you got the point, and then this is amazing power that we have inside us, and the absolute truthfulness and the empathy. And in order to use this, I have a suggestion. When you see some, even though we have the power like this, it doesn't mean we make right choices all the time, because our choice, our view is limited by our own interest. So sometimes when we see some conflicting situation, let's say you are arguing with someone, and you are when in an argument you always focus on excuse me, you always focus on how to prove you are right and how to prove that the other person is wrong, right? How to beat the other person. That will be our single focus. But next time when you do this, try to ask like this: how could this person, how could he or she be right? It will opens up new perspective. It will give you new ideas. It doesn't mean you have to agree with the person that you're arguing with. By asking the question, it will give you a new idea, new perspective, and it will help you understand his or her point. By understanding the other's point, actually it will help you to explain your point better, and you will find some common ground and get the harmonious conclusion. And I think this can apply to a lot of situations that we face in the real world. So I'm suggesting, when you see a complex situation, try to ask a question like this: how can it make it benefit? How can it make it beneficial for both, not just one way or the other? We can do this. We can do the same thing. We can ask the same question between human and artificial intelligence, between humanity and technology, or between two countries. How can it make it beneficial? How can it make our current situation beneficial to both? Not instead of asking, how can I win? How can I beat the other? Because the other will ask the same question. We'll never get the harmonious ground. This will be endless conflict, and we know the result. What will be end up? What we will end up with. So instead of that, just by asking the right question and by relying on the guidance of the absolute truthfulness and empathy, I believe you can find much better, more wiser answers and solutions. So if you do this, in order to be able to connect with the in order to stay connected with the absolute truthfulness and empathy, you may calm your mind and just focus on your inside. That's a part of meditation. But after that, when you ask a question, I suggest asking. Conventionally, we were so good at asking our question like, how can I win? How can I beat the other? But now, because we know that we cannot get the real solution by following that path. So, in order to expand our wisdom capacity, I would like to suggest change your question. Stay connected with your inner wisdom, the guidance of the absolute truthfulness and empathy, and ask different questions, asking, how can I make it beneficial for both? In what sense could this person be right? So please try it. And I've been using this a lot, and I got better answers, better solutions, make things better. So I hope it'll work for you as well. So that's what I prepared to share today. I hope you enjoy the conversation and learn something useful. And before we finish, I would like to have some quiet moment with you. So please close your eyes and focus on your chest and follow your breath. Be aware of your breath and go down a little more deeply to your core, lower abdomen. Relax your shoulders and make a gentle smile with your mouth. And slowly raise your hands and focus on your palms and sense the energy on your palms. And you can rotate your palms, your hand, with palms up horizontally in same direction. Maybe you can sense instantly, you can feel the subtle sense of energy on your palms. This will help you connect with the inner space, inner wisdom, and empathy. And slowly turn your hands and let them face each other and move it open and close. And continue to feel the sense of energy with a gentle smile on your face. And slowly bring your hands together in front of your chest. And please repeat after me. May all people, all life forms, and all beings be well. One more time. May all people, all life forms, and all beings be well. Let's do it one more time. May all people, all life forms, and all beings be well. And take deep breath, breathe in and out. Okay, bring your hands down on your knees and bring your attention down to your lower abdomen. And take a deep breath one more time. And bend your neck and relax your shoulders and breathe out through your mouth completely. And return and open your eyes. That's a simple meditation that I wanted to share with you at the end. So please share that the truthfulness and empathy with all people, all life forms, and all beings around you. So I hope you be well and see you again in the next time. So, thank you.